Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Cosmic Circus Comics review. My name is Vin. With me is my bro Vic,
Hello, Flymon Brothers.
and today we're talking about the Fantastic Four, the fourth movie, third reboot, two
Third movie.
people, one video. Okay, please remember to like, subscribe, follow, support us on Patreon. A few dollars a month helps support the channel, support the work we're doing here. You'll receive exclusive access to our Discord server, mailbag access to ask us questions, early access to super fantastic content. All right, Vic, what are we talking about today?
Today we have Fantastic Four by Jonathan Hickman, the entire run,
Hmm.
and we have the older stuff by Stanley and Kirby.
Mhm. In
3 issues.
particular, we want to talk about the coming of Galactus, which is
Yes.
48 to 50. Probably like the most influential 3 issues of like Fantastic Four ever, maybe. All right, let's get into Hickman. So remember, this is Dark Reign, Fantastic Four 1 to 5. Then there's Fantastic Four 570 to 588, FF 1 to 11, and then FF 12 to 23, which is parallel to Fantastic Four 600 to 611. Then, if you want to continue, it goes through New Avengers, Avengers, and Secret Wars, but that's going to be in another video later.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's gonna take a lot of my reading.
But you'll enjoy it, right?
Yeah.
What did you think of these Hickman runs? These
First of
Hickman
all,
issues? Yeah.
I always start with the story, but this time I'm gonna start with the art and
Okay.
the overall thoughts that I had when I started reading it. It was that it felt both comic book and realistic at the same time.
Yeah. Especially the Dale Eaglesham issues. He does a lot of those. The first great, amazing artist.
Yeah, this is I think one of the most recent comic books from the most recent era that I've read. Because usually when we talk about comic books, we were talking about the stuff pre 2010.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah.
But after 2010, the art changed a little, and I think that this type of art, the more modern touch of it that was in the Hickman's run, at least in some parts of it, but later, it was one of the best
Yeah.
I've seen. And I have a feeling that when I start reading Avengers, it's gonna be even better, because I've noticed that because I have the whole Omnibus Volume 1 with me.
Beautiful.
Unfortunately, I had to read Volume 2 online because I couldn't get it anywhere. I've had to pay $200 to
What?
ship it to Poland. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Because it's extinct. And the complete collection volumes are also...
This is the kind of comic that should not go out of print, especially right now. It's so essential for the new movie and for the Secret War stuff. Like, this is what we need to be reading.
Yeah, but I know that they are gonna do reprints after the movie.
Yeah. Let's get into kind of the story and what your thoughts were on it. So what is it about? What makes the Hickman run special?
First of all, the whole multiversal stuff that I didn't expect to see. The bridge, the Council of Reeds.
Yeah.
But I still feel that the best feeling, or rather the best summary, the whole comic book would be the family. Just like in the movie, the upcoming movie. It's all about family, and you can see that they are indeed the first Marvel family, and they have all the values family represents.
Yeah.
But I had very weird thoughts after I finished this omnibus, the first volume, because it kind of ends on a weird note. It ends on the.
What's the last issue of the omnibus?
Oh yeah, it's with the Mole Man and the Evil Reed.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but it ends on such a weird note. Because usually when I've read the omnibuses, they are like a complete story.
Right.
Even if it's volume 1 or volume 2, you can easily know that the whole story of this has ended. But here you have the foreshadowing of what's coming. And it's a little weird, but I'm gonna live with it.
And Hickman is always setting up new storylines. Like, it continually just grows. Because even when you finish Fantastic Four, it's going to keep growing into Avengers, because that stars Reed, and that goes straight into Secret Wars, which is all about Reed versus Doom. So even this Fantastic Four isn't entirely.
Yeah, even though people know it.
It's like 10 years old, and it's essential. Anyway, spoiler police. Anyway, one of my favorite things from this, I just love the Council of Reeds. And I love that the comic starts right away with multiverse, Council of Reeds. Weird stuff is happening. Reed is like doing all the equations like in his like secret lab. I love a lot of Fantastic Four runs. Each run focuses on something different, but Hickman's really good at focusing kind of on like this very modern. He's probably the most modern writer, like as far as not even just time, but style. And he's very. It's like almost like a Christopher Nolan movie sometimes, but with so much heart and emotion too. And that's why I think he's the perfect writer for like modern audiences. Like if you don't like comics, you will probably like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. Especially that every single thing that he introduces in this omnibus, this in volume 1, you see the resolution or the explanation in volume 2. So it feels like a one complete story, especially with the creation of the Council of Reeds.
Yeah.
Where I was really, really surprised when I learned that the Reed from the Nazi Germany created the Council of Reeds.
That makes sense.
It makes sense, but when I see the council, okay, I'm gonna say like I expected to see, but I don't know if it will happen. But if we see Council of Reeds in live action, I want them to be good people at least for one movie or something.
I don't think. I think they'll be good people for like 30 minutes,
or
and
at
then
least
it all fall apart.
Not all of them to be evil. Oh.
Yeah, that's right. You're gonna have a mix. You're gonna have a balance. Yeah. But I just love that there's all these different versions of Reed, and they all like represent different sides of his character. I think it's a beautiful concept itself. And Shackman has talked about the Council of Reeds a couple times, how much he likes the idea. So I'm just like, is it coming or not? And you know, Pedro is hiding in like all these trailers and everything. They're showing very little Pedro. So, what's going on with Reed in the movie? I wonder.
Yeah, but we see on his chalkboard that he has
the bridge.
The bridge, exactly. Yeah. That I noticed after reading the comic book, which is very nice.
Because I've already read. So when I saw the first trailer, instantly I saw that. I put it on Twitter, and it took off from there.
And I noticed that after I finished the bridge story arc, so it was very nice. But I also noticed that there are some equations, and when I googled them, it showed that those equations are used for space, intergalactic travel, interdimensional travel.
Oh, they're real equations.
Not the real equations per se, but rather the manifestations of them.
Okay.
The manifestation of the idea of the equation.
Uh-huh.
Because not all ideas in mathematics or physics can be written up because they have not been discovered yet.
Okay. I think I get it. Okay, that's fine.
So it's like you watch The Flash, they say some stuff, we have different equations, that's it. The equation for speed.
Yes. Technobabble, gobbledygook. Yeah. What I also like about this run is it's so modern and so and so like multiversal, big brain. But also he focuses on Galactus, Silver Surfer, Mole Man, Doom. He focuses on like the original core villains that at the center of the. So it's like there's other runs that are more traditional and balancing, but this is so modern and progressive. But it still keeps hold of the roots of the Fantastic Four, right?
You have all those different councils, and you have the Council of Villains, Council of Doom, which is also very funny. But I feel like the overall thematical thing of the story was to introduce people to Fantastic Four family without the need to read the previous comic from the round, because you can easily start reading it and you'll be up to date. You'll be surprised for a minute that Reed and Sue are parents, that Franklin and Valeria are already in the world.
That's pretty established in the comics, though. I think it's just new if you're coming from like the shows or movies.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, Valeria was born in Latveria. That's why Doom is not so keen to destroy the Fantastic Four anymore, at least when she's around. And it's already a nice touch on, Doom's more human side.
Yes. Doom is very good in this. Was this your first Hickman comic?
Probably.
That's awesome.
To be honest, I have a lot of holes in my memory.
Yeah, no, but it's
probably...
after this, he does Secret Wars, of course, and after Secret Wars, then he went into X-Men, and then he did the whole Krakoa era of X-Men, where they all have their secret island, and that is awesome. There's a lot of strange stuff, but he's like super revolutionary, and some of that might start trickling into X-Men 97. So, and also even the new Marvel Studios stuff. So, if you like this, then continue with Hickman's X-Men. Yeah,
I forgot that Hickman wrote the new Ultimate.
That's right.
So I've already read some of the Hickman.
Yeah, everything he touches is gold, man. He's one of Marvel's best writers. right now. Honestly, he's
I
really, really
agree.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope they're
All right.
gonna hire him to at least take a look at some scripts in the
They
future.
should. Like how James Gunn has like Tom King and
Yeah.
he's looking a lot of Grant Morrison for the DC. I don't understand why Marvel is doing Fantastic Four, Avengers, Secret Wars, X-Men, and they don't have Jonathan Hickman as a producer. What is
Well,
happening?
I think that's the issue that was recently
Mm-hmm.
very loud in social media about Marvel not paying the comic
Yeah,
book
yeah.
money they owe.
It's because they do have some like Zeb Wells, for example. He
Yeah.
did. They do have some comic writers who come, and also Sana Amanat. She was the producer. She was the editor who helped create Miss Marvel. Now she's a major producer. She did the Miss Marvel show. She's doing Daredevil. She's. Why are they not taking more of the comic people? You don't have to like do 100% comic stuff, but take them, use them for inspiration, especially Jonathan Hickman. Big brain, smart guy, good writer. What are you waiting for?
One of the best comic book seller authors.
Absolutely, especially of the modern era.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go back in time. Fantastic Four, 48 to 50. Jack Kirby, Stan Lee, Coming of Galactus. What did you think?
I thought that the movie really was inspired by this comic book, especially
Yeah,
in a lot of,
yeah,
especially with the issue number 48,
yeah.
which is the not the introduction, but rather the tease of
Mm-hmm.
Galactus incoming with
Galactus.
the Silver Surfer coming to the Earth, being
Yeah,
the herald of Galactus.
yeah. I mean, it was a big inspiration for Rise of the Silver Surfer 2007, and obviously it's going to be a big inspiration on this upcoming movie.
Yeah, but unfortunately there was no sky and fire in Rise of the Surfer. Unfortunately, God, I love this. But for the other time, I really like the idea of issue 48 being the introduction of Silver Surfer, or rather
Yeah.
the reintroduction.
Mm-hmm.
Issue number 49, Coming of the Galactus, and number 50, Resolving Everything. You didn't
Mm-hmm.
have to spend 12 or 15 issues
Yeah,
in order
yeah,
to see the resolution of the problem. It was just a small trilogy.
yeah.
And it's
And
like, well, less than
the
100
whole
pages.
Kirby Stan Lee run is basically that condensed because it's just boom, 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 boom. This is the first Marvel comic. Fantastic Four is the first Marvel comic, and they set up not just Fantastic Four, the entire Marvel universe is created in their 100 issue run. Everything you can ever imagine basically comes down to that. And even if it's not explicitly in their comic, but it's the style, the character, the emotion, the art, the action, the foundation of everything you know about Marvel right now comes from Jack Kirby, Stan Lee, Fantastic Four. And so, yeah, it's 3 issues, but that is a 3 issue extravaganza epic event because each one issue has so much happening in it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes total
Yeah.
sense.
Do you feel inspired to go back and read more of those early comics, or do you think
Mm,
this is enough for you?
I think I'm leaving this for after the movie
Makes sense. Makes sense.
because based on what we know about the movie and how hyped I'm for it, I
Mhm.
just want to, avoid more fantastic stuff from the comic books and just the movie.
Movie.
So
Okay.
because I already when I was watching yes, I'm rewatching the trailers every day. Every single day I'm
No,
sticking
how
with
many
fantastic
times? How many times every day?
at least 3 4 hours.
Hours. My God. Wow.
They are so good. There was
Yeah.
no bad trailer for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when I'm watching them, I'm starting to notice a lot of Easter eggs, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
connections to the comic books, especially
Mm-hmm.
when we see. First of all, I'm surprised how they are gonna do some time jumps in the movie,
Mm-hmm.
especially because the first half of the movie is gonna be before Franklin was born, and the second
Mm-hmm.
half of the movie after they escape Galactus ship is gonna be after Franklin is born because there's even a tease of it in the movie because when Reed and Sue are sitting in Reed's laboratory,
Mm-hmm.
on his chalkboard there are the USG pictures of Franklin
That's a
and Sue
great
Scully.
catch. That's
Yeah,
great. The ultrasound pictures.
the
Yeah.
ultrasound. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, the ultrasound pic.
Oh.
It's a really small thing to notice in the movie, but it's there, and yeah,
Oh. There's so much detail in the movie, in the set design, the production design. There's so many details in the costumes that I think it'll be a joy. Like after the movie comes out, they have the art of the movie books, you know? I think this will be a great one to just pour through and look at all the details in the planning, the conception.
yeah. I'm
Yeah.
so happy for it that I even started. That I even returned to do my sketches
Mhm.
to sketch the
Yeah.
Fantastic Four.
Oh, that's great, man.
Yeah, I started
That's
with
great.
Johnny, and because of how good not only the marketing but the casting is, and
The casting, the marketing, yeah.
how well they how well they adapt some of those things in the comic books.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they are changing a lot of things, the essence is
Mm-hmm.
there.
Mm-hmm.
You can
That's
easily
right.
notice it, and
That's right.
you can't say that this movie is bad.
Mm-hmm.
Is expected to fail because it
Mm-hmm.
can't fail. It
Mm-hmm.
can't. It's gonna be fantastic
Yeah.
movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
about the
I
comic
mean, well
books.
said. Well said. Well said. What did I want to add? I want to say there's so much there's so much good stuff in the Fantastic Four, the comics, and I mean I'm going to give you a list in just a second. But there's almost every run is great. There's a couple stinkers, but even the stinkers, some people like those. So every run is worth looking at. I'm going to give you a rundown in a second.
Yeah, there were some in the Hickman run, but
Yeah, but I think what's great about it is after the movie, when you're in like full Fantastic Four mode, and you're like, come on, I can't wait until Avengers Doomsday for more Fantastic Four. Then you can dive into the comics, and my friend, you have 60 years of great Fantastic Four comics ahead of you.
and
There's so
animations
much to look at.
and
Oh yeah, and
cartoons.
the animations, which we'll also talk about. So there's a lot of great Fantastic Four content out there. And hopefully this movie though, I think is hopefully going to be the most perfect rendition we've ever seen. Like I know 2005 was pretty good, especially for a modern take, but I
And
think this movie,
2007. Don't forget about 2007. It gave us
well,
the
I think
best Silver Surfer chase scene.
yeah, Silver Surfer is epic in that movie. He looks so good. He's so cool. I remember when it came out, I was a kid, and I was like, "This is it. We've peaked. You can't do anything cooler than this. This is the." There was so much excitement around that movie, 2007,
I remember.
just because of how cool he looks. Yeah. All right, so I want to get into this. So I have a full list. I went through the whole history of Fantastic Four. I want to focus on I think just about six runs. So the first run, Fantastic Four by Kirby and Lee. That's about 100. So about Fantastic Four 1 to 102,
Hmm.
roughly. Birth of Marvel Comics, Heroics, Humanity, and Shackman said it's a major inspiration for the movie. The original 100 issues that we just talked about. Next, Fantastic Four by John Byrne. That's 220 to 221, then 232 to 295. He was the first guy to ever write and draw an entire run of Fantastic Four. He's writing and drawing himself. It's the
Okay.
second longest run of all time for Fantastic Four. And this is interesting. After Secret Wars 1984, She-Hulk replaces the Thing. So She-Hulk joins the team. The Thing stays in space. And it's good, too. It's good. It's good. I wonder if we could see this in Marvel because we have Secret Wars. We just have Fantastic Four. We have Secret Wars. They're going to do some stuff in space, probably. What if we see something where we have like She-Hulk or Spider-Man come join the Fantastic Four?
Just like in the Hickman run.
Exactly. So that could be possibly an idea for post Secret Wars.
Yeah.
John Byrne was.
I just want to add that from the whole run, I think the Future Foundation arc would be my favorite.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's so cool.
Show some art for the sake of my argument. There's the whole story without tags, just right after Johnny dies.
Yeah,
You don't.
that's such a great issue. The morning. Yeah, and also for
Let me
Future
take a
Foundation,
comment.
I love the white costumes for Future Foundation are so cool.
There's no text here, no text here. There's no text
Yeah.
for at least 10 pages.
Yeah. That's the power, and that's the power of comics that you can just do that. And in your head, you're filling in everything in your head.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
it's too good.
Yeah. So I want to mention again, John Byrne. Shackman said also John Byrne's a major influence on the movie. After that, we have Walt Simonson. This run is often ignored. Only 20 issues. Fantastic Four 337 to 354. That's it. In fact, that's actually 17 issues. Just 17 issues. It's a great short run. So if you're looking for something different, if you've already read all the most famous runs, here's a nice one that's like overlooked that you can look at really quickly. Walt Simonson also wrote and drew it himself. These guys are amazing. Okay. Then we get to the 2000s. This is your stuff. Mark Waid, Mike Wieringo. Mark Waid, we talked about a lot in Superman. He really brings it back to the family. The family. There's cool sci-fi adventures, but it's all about the emotion. This is where he introduces Valeria. Valeria is born here in the 2000s. It's a perfect modern starting point for a new reader. So I think, Vic, this would be perfect for you. You start here. It's a modern comic, but it has those really old-fashioned Mark Waid values. And Mark Waid also is a major influence for the new movie.
From the less modern era, from the 2000s, I also have the Ultimate 4 omnibus.
We will get to that.
Yeah.
That's kind of like 50-50. But it gets cool when the maker starts messing stuff up, and then that comes into Secret Wars.
Yeah, that's why I'm leaving it for our Doomsday Secret Wars talk because I
Yeah,
think it may be connected.
absolutely. And Hickman does some work in there too. But it's definitely not traditional Fantastic Four. Then, of course, we have Hickman. So he did Dark Reign, Fantastic Four 1 to 5, Fantastic Four 570 to 588, FF 1 to 11, then 12 to 23 with Fantastic Four 661, then New Avengers, Avengers, Secret Wars, blah, 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 blah. We just talked about that. Then the most recent one, which I'm really sad you didn't get a chance to read, but I really want you to come back to when you can. You and all our viewers. Fantastic Four by Ryan North. 33 issues. It started in 2022. It's brand new. Brand new. And this, personally for me, might be my favorite run. I love this. And what he does is he does like standalone issues. Every issue is just a separate adventure. The adventures do connect, but each issue is like if you imagine Vic has an adventure, Vin has an adventure, John has an adventure, and then we come together and something happens, you know? So it's like each one has like standalone adventures that continue the story. There's so much heart. There's so much science stuff. And
Fun fact, I have some of it. I have the
Great.
first stories.
Great,
About
great,
Hope.
good. Yeah, it's
I
really
bought
good.
it when I was with you.
Yeah, probably because I was like, buy this, buy this.
Yeah, you told me to
Yeah.
buy it.
I think what's great about this Ryan North run, it's perfect for new readers. It's perfect for old fans. It gives you something totally new. It gives you something totally old fashioned. It's like if you take Hickman and Waid and put them together. For me, it's like the ultimate example of what the Fantastic Four, and it's standalone stories, kind of like the old Kirby Stan Lee stuff. So to me, this is like the best things of all the runs in one. And Alex Ross did the covers for all the first 20 issues or so.
Yeah, he also did the covers for the.
I'm not kidding you. This is like all bangers right here. So Ryan North is like probably my favorite run. All right, then it's going really quickly. Fantastic Four, we're not just in comics. We have multimedia.
Also,
the 1960. Yeah.
We forget about one comic book. It's coming in on July 2nd, called Fantastic Four First Steps Volume 1.
Oh, yeah.
Issue number 1.
Yeah. So is that like a prelude, like a prequel to the movie?
I don't know. It's
Okay.
a secret for now, but it has the cover. The cover with them fighting the mole man
Giganto.
monster. Yeah, Giganto.
Giganto.
Yeah, exactly. The one from the ad.
Yeah, which is the homage to Fantastic Four #1.
Exactly.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah. And I'm a little sad that they already spoiled that. They already showed it in like some commercial.
They showed it. This cover was released.
No, I mean the live action version.
Yeah, but 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah, but I didn't know that it was actually going to happen in the movie.
Yeah, but okay, yeah, I understand because you've got the prequel to Superman. You thought it would be the prequel to Fantastic Four first.
Yeah, I didn't know that. But they actually showed this in the movie. We saw that in a commercial. They're showing this in the movie.
They're gonna show us their previous adventures. How they
I didn't know that.
Part of it. Okay. Yeah, in the Ted Gilbert's show.
So they're showing like a
what to expect article about Fantastic Four.
Yeah, guys, go read that. Go read that.
When it's released, read it because I said some things there about the movie.
Okay, so Fantastic Four outside of comics, just really quickly. There's a 1967 cartoon, 20 episodes. 1978 cartoon, 13 episodes. 1978, that's where they introduced Herbie to replace Johnny because Johnny's not in the show, so they created Herbie as a replacement for Johnny.
Poor Johnny.
And this cartoon was written by Stan Lee and Roy Thomas. Mm-hmm. They wrote the cartoon that created Herbie. Then you have the 1994 cartoon, 26 episodes. You've seen that, right?
The 90s, the best moment for cartoons, of course, man.
Yeah. Were you even alive in the 90s?
99.
All right.
Yeah, but all of those cartoons were streamed in Poland in like 2000s.
All right, sir. So you did grow up with it, just because Poland is 10 years late.
Yeah, but I grew up with Spider-Man, and because of Spider-Man, I watched some of the episodes of the other shows.
Yeah.
After I grew up with me, I watched the X-Men, the animated series, 97. I watched the Fantastic Four, and all of this beautiful stuff from the 90s, and also the other Marvel cartoons that are lost treasures.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good ones. And I love that in the 90s, there's like one kind of interconnected universe between all the cartoons. And that's what we need right now. Brad Winderbaum, we need this.
you've had Iron Man,
Yeah.
Hulk, Fantastic Four,
Fantastic
X-Men,
Four, Spider-Man,
Spider-Man.
X-Men. Yeah, the good stuff.
There was supposed to be Daredevil.
Yeah. They even like set up the Midnight Suns almost. They have Blade, Morbius, Ghost Rider.
Oh yeah, and
They're
there
all
was going
there,
to be a
man.
Ghost Rider show and the Blade show.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, and then just
actually,
continuing.
Actually, it was Blade and Morbius.
In the 90s, that actually would have made sense.
Yeah.
Now, we can't talk about that. But in the 90s, Blade and Morbius were like the best, like frenemy. Like they kill each other, then they hug. You know what I mean? Like it's sweet. Okay. 1994. There's a live action low budget film, never officially released. Have you seen
I watched
that?
it.
Do you like it?
It was okay. It was
Okay. Okay. Cool.
I treat it as the 90s stuff.
Yeah.
Even if the computer effects are not finished this movie,
Yeah.
but they still look believable enough for the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I watched this movie and it was really nice.
All right.
You have
Cool.
the
Cool.
moment, you
Cool.
have Doom. Even Doom looked good. Like,
Wow. That's cool. I didn't know.
yeah.
All right. 2005.
It's on YouTube. It's publicly available on YouTube. So
Yeah. 2005, we have the Fantastic Four movie. Then 2007, Rise of the Silver Surfer. Yes. I really liked those when I was a kid too.
one of my
And
favorite movies.
then one more we have to mention: 2006, Fantastic
No.
Four. No.
No.
2006, Fantastic Four, World's Greatest Heroes.
Okay.
26 episodes. Pretty good cartoon.
Yes.
And that's
Cartoon
it. That's the end. That's the
Yeah.
end of the list. There is nothing else.
Network. Yes. Thank God.
Never again.
Never again. Yeah.
And then also, if you want to check out some alternate stuff, so there's the Ultimate Fantastic Four. I would mainly recommend 1 to 32. That's Brian Michael Bendis, Mark Miller, Warren Ellis. You know, they did some stuff. Then there's Ultimate Doomsday, which then leads into Ultimates by Jonathan Hickman, which then leads into Secret Wars. So if you want to see the rise of the Maker, because that would be awesome in live action. So that's kind of a different parallel path, but we'll probably talk about that.
There's
later.
only one actor who deserves redemption to be.
Yeah. And then also, totally random, Matt Fraction, who did Sex Criminals, and he's the new Batman writer. He's a good writer. He's very funny. He did a run in 2013 called FF, and this is with Ant-Man, She-Hulk, Medusa, and Miss Thing. And it's good. It's really good. Absolutely random. Because what it is like the main Fantastic Four go off into space, and they need some backup on Earth.
They need the replacement.
Yeah. So it's a team of like all the replacements, and it's good. So you can check that out if you want. Just some totally
Just
random.
Like they are the West Coast Avengers of the Fantastic Four.
And so Fraction was writing the FF on Earth, and then Fantastic Four in space, and the FF was the better comic, not the Fantastic Four in space. Just skip that. But this is the good stuff. Anyway, so that's it. Fantastic Four comics. That's all we have. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed our discussion, be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment below. What are your favorite Fantastic Four comics? Are you excited for the new Superman movie? Let us know in the comments. I'm Vin. You can find me on Blue Sky at Vin Writes Words.
I'm Vic. You can find me on Twitter and Blue Sky at Eric Salki. And be await for what to expect Fantastic Four and for our Fun for Talk.
Yes. Make sure to go check out my comic reading guides. I did a huge guide on the Fantastic Four up to 98, then a huge guide of the modern era. Vic is doing a bunch of articles about Fantastic Four. So go check those out. All right, thanks, guys. See you next time. And special thanks to our Patreon supporters. If you'd like to see even more videos and extended content, please subscribe at the link in the description.
Thank you.